Welcome to Radiant Reiki with Carol. My name is Carol and this channel is about all things spiritual. Today, Spirit wanted me to talk about myself and my path to spirituality. Spirit says that maybe my story can help you with what's going on in your life. So here goes. My first part of my path to spirituality happened when I was kind of having difficulty in my marriage. And so I decided to go to a psychic that all of my friends had been going to, and they said this lady was wonderful. So I thought, okay, I've never wanted to do that before, but maybe I'll just do that, So I did, and I walk in, and then I sit down, and she said, well, a spirit just walked in with you, and he had his arm around you, and he was saying, baby, do it. Baby, do it. Now, did he call you baby, or were you the baby of the family? This feels like a father figure, or maybe a grandfather, I'm not sure. And I said, started crying right away, of course, because my dad was in spirit. Both my mom and dad were in spirit at the time and still are. And my dad did call me baby. And I was the baby of the family, but he did call me baby. So the fact that he was saying baby do it was huge, because she goes, what's this wonderful opportunity that you have to face in your life right now? And I'm like, well, thinking about getting a divorce. So him saying baby do it was giving me support that that's maybe the right thing to do. And which is kind of weird, because I was raised Catholic, and I don't think in real life they would have been all that excited about, yeah, do it. I don't think they would have been like that, being Catholic. But who knows? This was what was communicated to me at the time. So it made me feel that I wasn't alone, and it made me feel supported by my parents, which was wonderful. So that was my first, meeting with spirituality. And then while I was still contemplating divorce and hadn't done much with, about it yet, just worrying about it, I went to a few other psychic readings with this lady. And this was in January. And in January, I had a reading with her, and she said, your mom says that everything's going to be ready by Easter. And I'm like, what's going to be ready by Easter? And she said, whatever it is you're working on. What are you working on? And the only thing that came to mind was thinking about getting a divorce, which of course I hadn't done anything about yet. And I said, how can everything be ready by Easter? This is January, She goes, that's what she said. And I'm like, okay, we'll see. Well, February, we ended up talking about it and decided on getting a divorce. And then we decided to sell the house. And guess when it sold? Oh yeah, that was Good Friday, right? So everything was ready by Easter, and it went forward from there. Sometimes when things kind of move easily and everything flows in your life, it probably means that's what you're supposed to be doing, right? So I got confirmation in that arena that was what I was supposed to be doing. And even though everything was changing all around me and it was crazy and difficult, it still felt like the right thing to do at the time. So that's good, and it still feels right. So that was the beginnings of my spiritual journey. And then about a year later, I think it was, I had another hardship happen. My daughter, who was in college at the time, started having major mental health issues. And as a mom, I just want to make everything better. I just want to make everything okay. Let's make it all okay. I have no control over this thing. This is not something I can control. This is something that she has to work through, right? But I wanted to. So that was interesting, but I couldn't. All I could do was be there for her. And so then I was, still always distraught about it, because as moms, we worry and worry and worry all the time. And I was sitting at at the spirituals church I was going to, and I was sitting on the porch, and this Reverend Connie was there. And I didn't know Reverend Connie. This was my first time meeting her. And there was a few of us sitting on the porch and just chatting, And she said, Spirit tells me that you're very worried about your daughter. And I said, yeah, I am. And she said, well, they're telling me that in the fall, so this is springtime, might have been summer, so it could have been or beginning of summer. She said by the fall, she's going to be living with some people that are going to be such a good influence on her, and you're going to see a big change in her for the good. I'm like, oh, cool. All right, that's good. She's going to live with some people. I knew she was looking for different roommates for the fall, so maybe they're going to just be wonderful. That's really great, right? Guess who she ended up living with in the fall? Oh yeah, that would be me. Me and my son, who was in high school at the time, her younger brother. So she came to live with us, and although it was difficult for her to leave college and all that, but it was something that really ended up to be good for her in the long run. And she ended up working through all those mental health issues over the years and turned to spirituality. And now she's replaced all those mental health issues with a beautiful life. She's got a beautiful life with a wonderful family, and she has a life with spirit. And she is a psychic tarot reader, as well as a spiritual therapist, and she's now a Reiki master as well. All of these skills, plus her background of what she's had to go through with those mental health issues, all of these things help her, I'm crying, help her be such a wonderful help to other people. She helps so many people with these skills. So it's so wonderful to see. So she doesn't have any of those issues anymore. She's got spirit all the way, right through her, all the time. It's wonderful. So see how sometimes hardships end up to be lessons learned or a big change or transformation, right? So in her case, it was lovely. Then let's see what happened next. Everything was doing great then. And then I became a Reiki master, and in my Reiki practice, I want everybody to have good health, whether it be physical or spiritual. And I think the way to that path is through self-love. And I've gone through a big self-love journey, and I learned to love myself deeply, which has changed me greatly. I had to go through a breakup with a relationship that I had after my marriage ended. I had a new relationship for many years, and that one had to end because I had to stand up for myself, and I had to put out some boundaries like, okay, this is not going to be acceptable here because I love myself. So it was, even though it was a difficult to do that whole breakup, something wonderful came out of it, my self-love. So I'm hoping that for all of you, that you can see the good in any hardships you're going through, either now or that you have gone through. Hopefully there's something good that's come out of it, and something that you've learned, or maybe you've become a better version of yourself because of it, right? Thanks for listening. In love and light. I'll see you next time.